Hello, Math 96. This is a recording for those people who were absent on Friday, May 14th for the live session on Project Day 5. My suggestion to you is that you come every day to live session and work with us on your project. So on Friday, May 14th, your Triad number 6 digital workbook is due. Make sure you hit the turn-in button on your Triad number 6 digital workbook in Google Classroom today. Okay, so this video is going to cover day 5 of the project. It's going to be how to make a graph of the baseball example in Desmos and how to screenshot the graph into your math project slides workbook. So please take out your paper for the baseball example. As we're going through this, you might want to make some notes on your baseball paper for what we're doing today on how to make a graph for Desmos, because you're going to have to do this all on your own for your final project. So we will screenshot and insert the graph into your math project digital workbook today. And then we're going to label the key points on the graph using the slide tools. At the end of the period, make sure your graph is uploaded and labeled on day 5 slide in your math project digital workbook. Okay, so if you have 2 computers, that would work best. If not, you're going to have to go in between screens. You'll probably need to hit pause on this video. So what you need to do first is to go to Google, and you can type in the search bar Desmos or desmos.com at the top. And once you get the screen for Desmos to come up, then you press this blue button that shows up right in the middle of the screen that says Graphing Calculator. Okay, so your screen on Desmos should look like this. What we're going to do right here in just a minute, just listen to the video for a minute, is type in our equation. If you look on your baseball paper example, your equation starts with 0 equals. When we're graphing in Desmos, we need to use y equals. So this is what you need to type into Desmos. This is the equation for the baseball problem. Remember, it was 28 feet per second for velocity, and the starting height was 5. Please just make sure that you start this with y equals. So please go to Desmos, type that in, and your graph should look something like this. And please don't touch the graph, just come back to this video. You might want to hit pause on the video. Okay, so you might want to be hitting pause on the video so that you don't miss anything. All right, so you should come back to this screen. This is what your graph should look like, and the problem is that you can't really read any important information. Your graph is just far too narrow. So we want to make this graph wider. I'm going to show you how to do that. So listen to this video for a minute and then go back to Desmos. So just watch for a minute. You're going to go ahead and hit the tool button, and then after that, when the tool button opens, it will look like this, and you want to go to where it is the x-axis. And the problem is the numbers go all the way from negative 26 to positive 26. And that's just too far out. So we want to make this say like negative 5 to 5. So go ahead and go back to Desmos, hit this tool button, and then change those numbers to negative 5 and 5, and your graph should change. Please hit pause on this video while you do that. Okay, so now this is what your graph screen should look like in Desmos. This graph has been adjusted so the graph is wider. But the screenshot, the actual size of the graph, has too much of the grid showing around here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and talk about what you need to do for a screenshot. The image needs to be cropped. Now, how you take a screenshot depends on what kind of computer you're using, whether you're using a Chromebook or a PC. That's why it's important to come to live class sessions so that I can help you on the Meet. Please listen for a moment. So on a Chromebook, to screenshot the whole page, you use two buttons. Let me just change this so we can see it. So you're going to use this button. Hold on, my pen didn't change. There we go. Still didn't change. Hold on, I want to really get a different color here. There we go. So this button looks like this. And then you also want to hit the control button. If you hit those two buttons at the same time on a Chromebook, this is just for a Chromebook, then a little window pops up at the bottom and you want to go ahead and save it. You can save it to your drive, find it in My Drive. Now, if you're on a PC, that means you have Windows, right? You can type down here in the search bar. Let me show you. Where's the search bar? So if I go back to, hold on just a minute. I need to get rid of this. Trying to get my search bar to come up. Here it is. If you type in the search bar at the bottom of your PC, SNIP, snip, you can click on this snipping tool. That's what I use. So I use this snipping tool all the time. And you hit new, and then you can get just the amount of the graph that you would want to get. Okay? And then what you do is you just Control V for paste anywhere you want. So again, you type in the search bar SNIP. You can use the snip and sketch. I like to use the snipping tool. Okay? And then let me go back here. So that's the snipping tool. Now, if you can't use either the snipping tool and you don't know how to crop your image in your when you use a Chromebook, you can also take a picture of the graph on Desmos using your cell phone and send the image to your drive or email. So it's important that you're able to do this. Please be on the live Meet Monday if you need extra help. So this is a cropped image of the graph. This is what you need to be able to create before you insert your graph into your math project digital workbook. So your graph should not be, let me see here, which one is it? It should not be big and narrow like this. It should not have the whole grid. It should be cropped to a smaller size before you put it in your digital workbook. Now, the reason for that is that we're going to go ahead and label the important points, and we can easily see them. For instance, right here, it took 1.9125 seconds for the ball to finally hit the ground, and you can easily see that on our graph. Also, right here, this was the 17.25 feet for the maximum height that the ball achieved while it was going through, and you can easily see that on this grid that it's right there at 17. Okay, so make sure you understand how to crop your image or you won't receive full points on your project. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and put this image into our digital workbook. We're going to label the maximum height and how many seconds it took for the baseball to hit the ground. So I need you to go back to Google Classroom, open up your digital slides for project day 5, and then hit pause on this video and come back. Okay. Oops, wrong one. So here's my digital workbook. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my graph on there. I'm going to move it just to the center for right now. So there's my graph. Now I'd like you to watch how I'm going to label the graph. So I'm going to go up to Insert, Shape, go over to Shapes, and I'm going to go down to the oval. It's right here. So one more time. That's Insert, Shape, pick the oval, and I'm going to make it for right here at the maximum. I want to make it into a circle the best I can because the circles on the graph have circles, right? Now it's highlighted. I can't see the circle, but that's okay. As long as it's blue and highlighted, I can now change the color. So it has to be blue and highlighted, and I'm going to go up to the top where this bucket is for the fill color. And I'm going to choose a bright color that I can see, so I'm going to make it green. I still can't see the dot, but that's okay. I need another dot for when the ball hit the ground, so I'm going to Control C copy, and then I'm going to click off of it, and then Control V paste, and now I've got two dots, and I'm going to go ahead and move my second dot as soon as I get that. Moving it when it's small seems to be the hardest thing here. Hold on. If you have a mouse, it works easier. I don't have my mouse here. Come on. I want to move this. Nope, I just made it bigger. There it is. Now, my second dot down there is a little bit not very circular, so I'm going to try and change the shape a little bit. That's a little better. You can also hit Control and your arrow to kind of move it around a little bit. I'm covering up the 2, so I'm trying to move it up a little. I moved it over too much. Shift and the arrow seem to move it around. Okay, so I have my 2 dots, one for the maximum and one for how long it took for the ball to hit the ground at 1.9125 seconds. So now I'm going to label those points. So I'm going to go up to Text Box, and I'm going to make a text box right here for the maximum height. While it's selected in blue, I'm going to go up again and hit Fill Color. Now this time you want to use light muted colors. So I'll use light orange. I'm going to go over and bold my letters, and I'm going to type maximum height of baseball, 17.25 feet. And I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. Then I'm going to go Control C to copy. Click off, Control V and paste. Move it down to the bottom dot. And then I'm going to type how many seconds for the ball to hit the ground. Oops. It hit the ground after 1.9125 seconds. I'm going to stretch that out so it fits across. And that's the expectation of what you need to get done today. Again, this needs to be in your Day 5 Math Project Digital Workbook. Okay, let me go back to the slideshow. So make sure you take a screenshot of your final graph with all the important numbers written out. Upload your screenshot to your Math Project Digital Workbook onto the Day 5 slide. And that was it for today. Thank you. Don't forget, hit the turn in button for your Triad number 6 digital workbook. It's due. Thanks. Have a great day. See you Monday live in class.